head coach Nitra Perry and redshirt-senior Breonna Mosely after a 68-61 win over the College of Charleston in your season opener. Coach, just talk a little bit about the game and what it means to get a win on the first night.
It was an exciting game. It was a huge win for our program and getting us started this season. College of Charleston was a really athletic team. They were a big team, so I was really proud of our girls for how they played and how tough they were tonight.
Then Breonna, just talk a little bit about what it meant to get out on the court. You had to sit out last year because of transfer rules, led the team tonight in scoring. Just talk a little bit about how it felt.
Well, actually, I missed the last 2 seasons, so I felt, really hungry to be out there, and it was just I love being in the atmosphere, playing in front of the fans, and it was just great to be out there after 2 years.
And then you used a lot of newcomers tonight, Coach. You had, along with Breonna in the starting lineup, you had Carly Fry, Jasmine McAllister, KP had a great effort down the line. Just talk a little bit about the team aspect tonight.
It was a total team effort. I think I was talking to somebody earlier and just talked about Katie Polinsky's 4 minutes were the biggest 4 minutes of the night when Jasmine McAllister got in foul trouble. In practice, we always talk about staying engaged. I thought our bench did what they need to do. Kelly Dukowski comes in, hits a 3 right away. And like I said, KP coming in and playing defense, that doesn't show up on the stats all the time. But it was a team effort. I thought, we had 4 people in double figures. DeAndrea Sawyer's 9 rebounds. This kid right here hitting 7 for 7 free throws. And I think that they believe they can do anything as a team, and I was just proud of them.
You mentioned, 7 of 7 free throws. You had an over 70% free throw percentage on the night. Just talk a little bit about that work ethic. Obviously, it's been put into practice, and now it's translating onto the court.
We just always are talking about being tough. And tonight, I think it was about who was the toughest team. I thought that, they had some positions that they were more athletic, but as a team, I thought, we did all the small things. We dove on the loose balls. Carly Fry took a big charge late. Christina Wells doing what Christina Wells does. But I think a lot of it does hinge on having a point guard in Carly Fry, being able to manage the team, run the show, and allowing Christina and DeAndre to do what they do. And then as hungry as Breonna is, just a short story about her. Last year she came to me and she said, just please let me play on the team. And she was the hardest working player in practice last season, hands down, every day. We would travel and come back, and she'd be the hardest worker all the time, and I think it says a lot about her, the way that she has practiced over this last year, to never travel, to never get in gear, all the things that athletes love. And so I'm extremely happy for her to finally get that success that she's been wanting.
And finally, just talk a little bit about what this win means moving forward. You have a big 6-game road trip coming up. How does it feel to go onto the road knowing that you already have that first win under your belt? It
feels great. I mean, we keep talking about starting our tradition, and I think that was a big statement we made today. But we've been going 1 game at a time, 1 step at a time, 1 play at a time. So we're just thinking about Tennessee State next, and that's going to be a tough game at Tennessee State.
Coach, can you talk about just the mental fortitude of your team towards the end? The game is tied up, and you all just seem to make all the plays, whether it was the 50-50 balls or Christina making, just plays at the end. Just talk about your team's mental toughness, because obviously when you came into this program, that's something that you wanted to instill. Mental fortitude, mental toughness. Can you talk about your team's mental toughness tonight towards the end?
They definitely were mentally tough. I know in one of the timeouts, we looked a little winded, and I just asked them, are you guys too tired to win? And, this is the first time that I had a player come back with Christina Wells saying, we're not too tired, and looking each other in the eyes and saying they're going to go out there and do it. So I really think, even though it's something I've been trying to instill, it's something that the players have embraced, and I think that's what makes the difference.
Okay. Breonna, can you talk about, it was obviously you were talking about earlier about just, you had to sit out essentially 2 years, but you played with so much fire and so much emotion tonight. Can you just talk about just that hunger to get out there and the way you played with so much just tenacity out there? Can you talk about just how sitting out those 2 years, the perspective it gave you and having this opportunity tonight?
Well, I guess with sitting out, all you do is watch, and you just looking in from the outside, and you just really want to be out there. You really want to, I don't know, I love the game so much, and I have the passion for it. It's just fun. It's fun to be out there, especially when you're you're not really feeling it.
And Coach, can you talk about not only just her performance, but you were talking about earlier the newcomers. Carly, she played, I think, essentially the whole game. I don't think she came out at all.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about just your players willing to step up, and the newcomers especially? Can you just kind of really just elaborate on just how proud you are of your newcomers that not only have bought in, but went out there and did exactly what you need to do to get the victory tonight?
Carly Fry and Jasmine McAllister, they're just winners. And that's something I wish I could take the credit for. But Carly in timeouts, she's not always the rah-rah person, but she says the small things like, hey, we got to protect this. Hey, we got a 1-point lead. She just does what a point guard is supposed to do. Jasmine, towards the end, she wanted the ball every single time. We always laugh about, you gonna eat, Jazz, just, getting them hype and stuff. And she wanted it tonight. And I thought that was huge. Katie Polinsky is a big student of the game. She doesn't, every player, when you have 15 players, don't get reps.
Right.
That's the truth of it. And I was just extremely proud of her to be a freshman and come in, do the defensive assignment. She didn't miss any help sides. She switched onto a guard, contested a shot, got a rebound. I mean, just buying into her role. And that's something that we've all talked about. We did our mission statement, and we just talked about doing whatever it took to win the game. One game at a time. And so I felt like every one of them bought into that. Kelly Dukowski, everybody knows she's a dead-on shooter. They're looking for her, and she's still trying to find her way. But, I feel like every time she shoots the ball, it's going in.
Absolutely.
So.